Hello everyone! Today I wanted to talk about something kind of important, so it's a little serious, a little not. I wanted to open up the vault and tell you a quick story about the time I was borderline, if not totally, psychotic. And I mean that in the truest sense of the word, in the mental health context of the word. Why do I even want to talk about it? One, I had a crappy day today, so sometimes it helps me keep it green by thinking about how bad things maybe used to be before. Two, it's come to my attention a lot when I talk in front of groups of people that certain disorders like depression and anxiety, you ask everyone in the crowd, show of hands, have you ever experienced this? You ever experienced that? And they all go, yeah, depression, anxiety. You say, has anyone here ever been psychotic or had psychosis? They all put their arms down and then look suspiciously. So, I'd like to share a little from the inside out if I can. So I'm going to jump in with a quick story. The main characters in this are my psychiatrist, my mother, my aunt, and me. And I have a dark sense of humor. People who live with delusional disorders or experience psychosis can have a really damaged quality of life. And it can be very debilitating. I'm fortunate I haven't had one of these experiences recently. Enough time has passed that it probably seems a little bit of the dark humor is probably going to creep in, and I come from a long line of Irish Catholics that laugh at tragedy. So, in 2011, I'm living with my parents. It's the end of 2011. I'm going to say a week before Thanksgiving. And I had been on a bender of pretty much the whole summer drinking, binging and purging, and taking my medication whenever I felt like it. So all of that, of course, came to a head, and I found my way into the psych ward. And a few things brought me there. I was having suicidal ideation. I was thinking about killing myself. I had been throwing up and spitting up blood because when I was trying to purge, I'd cut the back of my throat with my fingernail. So they wanted to do some testing and see if I was bleeding anywhere else. I wasn't. And probably look at the medication since I was suicidal or whatever. So they throw me up on the unit, and the doctor, who I won't name names, but I'm glad he's being sued as of now by other individuals. And he hasn't paid his back taxes either. So he looked at my chart. 3 years earlier, I had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. He looked it up and down and said, I don't think you have bipolar disorder. All alcoholics get diagnosed with that. You're just, I'm paraphrasing, just a drunk and you're probably depressed. So he yanks me off of all my bipolar medications. I usually don't drop names, but I was on lithium and a fair amount of it. Buspar, it's like an anxiety med that's not habit forming, and one other antipsychotic. He took me off those, left me on my antidepressant, and added Abilify, which is supposed to, like, juice it up. So I started to improve really quick. Within, 3 days, I was, good to go. So I go home, and I'm getting happier, and more excited, and happier, and more excited, and more energetic. So flash forward, a week and a half, and things aren't going so well. I'm feeling better and better and better, but no one's usually this happy. So, let's see. One morning, and this was, again, a week and a half later, I woke up zap. I was awake. Wide awake. I got up, I drank about a half a pot of coffee. My sugar went out, hold on. Individuals with mental illness have a disproportionately high rate of substance use, including nicotine use. Fun fact. Drank a bunch of coffee. I think I went to a 12-step meeting, put my hand up. Who the fuck knows what I said? I came home. On the way home, I hadn't had anything to drink since I was in the psych ward. I stopped at Dollar Tree because I had saved the $1 that I had to put in the basket at the meeting. So, and I had the 6 cents on me to buy a bottle of mouthwash from the Dollar Tree that I was going to go home and drink. Drinking mouthwash was a cute little habit I had picked up in the previous year. I was, intermittently broke, and it was cheap to get, and if I did feel like I needed to steal to feed it, I wasn't going to steal from a liquor store, so I would shoplift and stuff like that. It's things you do in addiction that you make excuses for. I need to drink, so I have to steal, Again, you make excuses, but it feels essential at the time. So, I stop stop to get my mouthwash, and then I go home. And I'm starting to watch TV, and I'm watching Rachel Ray for whatever reason. It's early afternoon. And I'm having a hard time concentrating. I'm starting to, I don't know if I'd call this hallucinate. I'm hearing everything at the same volume. So I have the TV on, and the neighbor's out on the porch, and she's playing her radio. Maureen, rest in peace. Blasting 60s music. And the neighbor's dog is barking, and cars are going by outside. My parents live on a busy road. All of these seem to be at the same volume to me. I can hear all of them as loud, one as the other. It's like the volume was turned up. So this is creating a lot of chaos for me. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's like one of those, like, out of a movie where you're like, the person is pacing and it's you know, sounds are going around their head. That's what it kind of felt like. Nothing was telling me to do anything. I wasn't hearing anything that wasn't already there. It was just amplified. So out of nowhere, it occurred to me that I should be cutting myself. So I go downstairs into the cellar, find a box cutter, and proceed to start doing it. And it occurred to me to do as though it occurred to me that I was thirsty. I was like, oh, I need a drink. Oh, I should be cutting. So go up, and not to disrespect Rachel, I'm doing it during the commercial breaks, and I'm stunned more by the fact that it doesn't hurt than anything else. So I'm getting braver, and I'm, you know, it's deeper. You know, I don't believe in trigger warnings, but if this is setting you off, you know, turn this off and go watch a blooper reel. And called my mother and said, Mom, I'm not doing so well. I wasn't totally off planet Earth. I had a foot in reality, and said, Mom, I'm not doing so well. And she said, okay, hang tight. We called back and forth a couple times. Ultimately, my mom's sister, who's a psychiatric nurse, retired, came over. And because I knew we were having company, I went and got the good the good crystal, and put cream in one and sugar in the other, and I put on a fresh pot of coffee. I'm doing all this with a freaking bath towel wrapped around my arm, so I'm not, I mean, obviously I'm bleeding, but to cover everything. And she comes, and because it's my mother's sister, she brings cookies. And she's like seen it all, done it all, doesn't care, is non-judgmental. And we sit there and have cookies and kind of just talk about anything else but what's going on. And she's just basically keeping me company. My mother leaves work early, and she comes home. And I'm chattering like a friggin' macaw about I don't know what. And I still am wrapped up to here. My aunt looked at it and she said, you'll probably have scars, but you didn't hit anything deep. You're fine. It'll be superficial little white stuff, and some of the other ones I still have. So, she told my mom it looks like a medication issue. It doesn't look like anything else is wrong. It just got very dark in here. I think our power might have gone out. This is battery operated. And so is that. Oh well. It was a dark and stormy night. So, at any rate, we, I don't think I can light this, actually. So we go to the hospital, and it's the same goddamn doctor that it was before, of course. And, he says, well, what are you doing here? I said, this is scented like grape, it's fantastic. It might cast purple. He says, well, what are you doing here? I was like, well, I took the meds as directed, and I'm batshit crazy now. Now I can't sit still. And I'm having what's called akathisia. It's like restless leg, but over your whole body. Oh, I'm totally losing it. So back in the hospital I go. They pull me off that stuff and revamp my meds, but it took another 7 months before I got on a cocktail that worked. Nay, 9 months. And after coming down from that snap, I was still manic as hell for another 6 weeks. I mean, 5 hours of sleep. I was going jogging. I was 280 pounds at the time, and I was jogging, and it was January. I lost about 40 pounds in 2 months, like really fast. And we're not talking weight loss journey lost. I mean, I wasn't eating anything. So it came and it went, and the after effects were creepy. I had another similar incident, but I'll say when that involved Mark, but we'll save that for another time. So, that's pretty much it. That makes today look not so bad. That makes today feel a little better. And I hope I kind of took a little stigma away from it, you know. crazy is not always what it looks like. Sometimes crazy is a guy who smokes too much and has a YouTube channel and whines about his job sometimes. So thanks for watching. Again, please subscribe, get the alerts too, hit the little bell, leave comments below. Please do. And I'll catch up with y'all soon. Stay sane. Bye.